Trump's foreign policy advisor, Walid Phares, is with me now. Walid, welcome back. Always glad to have you.
Thank you.
I want to ask you, in a general election, let's assume it's Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump. You are a foreign policy expert. Both want independent voters. Who made the better case today?
Well, look, Secretary Clinton engaged in a massive psychological, quote-unquote, criticism of Donald Trump. She tried what is known as character muddying. He did this, he did that, he said this, he said that, don't trust him. The problem here is that we're not talking about two persons who equally had the chance to govern. We're talking about an opposition leader, like Mr. Trump, who is making statements and also delivering foreign policy speeches, and a Secretary of State for 4 years who had made decisions on real issues. She talks about Mr. Trump saying he can't make decisions on real issues, yet she made those decisions in Libya, in Syria, in Iraq, in Yemen, and many other places. I think Mr. Trump, during his debate with her, he's going to actually describe what's happening as his response to her personal attacks.
So she says, speaking of which, that Donald Trump is temperamentally unfit to be president, and I think the implication was commander-in-chief. She has spoken about him potentially in that role as a loose cannon. You are working closely with him on foreign policy. What would you tell us, for people who are not in the room with him, when you discuss foreign policy strategy with him?
That's a great question, Deidre, because the advisors and the briefers work with him, and I'm talking about the many, many months leading to him becoming the presumptive nominee. You know how many briefings he got? You know how many former generals and people who had been in the real world spoke with him? Did he ever unleash that information in public? Look at her speech. She was talking about the security arrangement on those ships between Japan and South Korea. She is using the actual information she has been briefed on, and she will do more. So in terms of, controlling yourselves, controlling the information that you have, the evidence is here.
So do you think, Walid, because there are many people who admire Donald Trump's spirit, he's a fighter, people say that's what America needs again, but is he a good listener to experts on foreign policy such as yourself?
Look, we cannot speak, we the advisors, because we're committed not to say anything about our internal operation. But ask anybody who worked with him or who briefed him from the outside in terms of how many questions he asked. How many times he asked about the alternatives to the matter. He actually asks or acts while he is meeting with people from outside the campaign as experts, as if he's sitting in the Oval Office. Of course, he needs that information, the input coming from agencies, and when you have that input, what would you do with it? For example, Madam Clinton received input on Libya. What did she do with it? She received input on Syria. What did she do with it? So it's not just you receive the information. What are you going to do with it?
It's an excellent point, Walid. As always, we thank you for joining us. I know you called in to join us especially, and we appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Walid Phares with me there. He is Donald Trump's senior foreign policy advisor.